One, two, one, two. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing channel. We're here for the second race of tonight here at Donington. We just had an incredible first race and hoping for more of the same here for this second one. Obviously we saw Jazzman having a bit of a nightmare in the first race. No real indication as to what it was for. I had a little look on the Discord, checked the general chat and the sprint chat section, and there's no real clues. Obviously the general chat is empty right now, but in the sprint league chat there was a few people talking, and I didn't see any indication from Jazzman. I might have missed it. I didn't know. Didn't see him suggest any reasons as to what his first race capitulation was because of. So yeah, a bit of a mystery really. But he's qualified on pole for this second race. Obviously he's got the pace here tonight, so let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can hold Tynus behind him here for the duration of this second race. But we've got 18 drivers out on track here tonight. We had 17 for the first race. We've got Cheese Monkey jumping in as a late stand-in, which is good to see, driving in his Mercedes AMG. I haven't actually seen him driving that livery before, but it looks absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it'd be good to see him back out on track, our two-time champion of the GT4 division here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 version of ACC. And he's raced with us actually a few times over the last couple of seasons. Has actually managed to nab a couple of podiums in Tier 1 for the GT3 Championship on a Sunday. So I mean, he's a top level driver here, is Cheese Monkey. Starting at the back, what can he do? Can he get himself into the top 10? Can he get himself a top 5 maybe? That would be maybe a bit of a push, but who knows. But nonetheless, we're coming towards the end of the formation lap here. We've got Jazzman and Tynus, as is so often the case here, on the front row with Shark Zulu and Max Power behind them. It's exactly the same top 6, I think, as what we had in the first race, but as we know, things changed quite a bit over the course of the entire race distance in the first race. We're expecting dry conditions for the duration, I think. Last week we had rainy conditions at Monza, but this time out the rain has stayed away. I think I've turned the rain setting down a little bit. So last week we had 0.3 in the air. I think this time we've got 0.1, so very slim chance of rain falling. There is a chance, there is precipitation in the air, but not enough of it to warrant a realistic prospect of rain actually coming down. But here we are then, guys. We're coming into the final corner. We're about to go racing here for the second time here tonight, the final time this evening. We've got Guido Cristo in the comments saying, sitting on the couch with a cold beer watching the sprint race. Good to see, mate, good to hear. And looking forward to seeing what you make of this here tonight. Guido Cristo obviously races in Tier 1 on a Sunday night for the GT3 Championship. He's an experienced veteran here at Motive, has raced with us now for 3 seasons here. But nonetheless, we're coming up towards the line. We are about to go racing here. And looks like we're green. We're racing now down towards turn 1. And it's Jazzman there on the inside who's going to defend it from Tynus. Tynus trying to go around the outside, but he's not going to be able to do that. Jazzman's going to park his car on the inside and gets a decent enough run here coming through Hollywood. So it's Jazzman from Tynus. Shark Zulu has got Max Power trying to attack with him, but he's too far back, and it's as you were between those guys. Lazy Cam with a drive-through penalty there for jumping the start, which is going to cost him, obviously, because he's got to come in during the first 3 laps of the race. You can't sort of wait to the end. You've got to come in and get it done out of the way as in there, otherwise it's going to be completely irrelevant. But you can see here Shark Zulu all over the back of Tynus here. Tynus coming under pressure here early on from Shark Zulu, who was P2 in the first race, but Tynus did put away at the end. Oh, and Racky's made a mistake here. We've had a driver already making a mistake coming up the hill. Racky onto the gravel there, so he's the first driver to bite the dust here in the second race of the night. But in the meantime, we've got Max Power here looking on the back of Shark Zulu, also having to defend from Robe at the same time as we come down towards the foggy S's here. Max Power defending the inside there. Robe can't get it around him for the time being. In the background you can see Carl Marley trying to attack on Totally Zero, but nothing doing at the moment. Has to wait a little bit longer there in that one. Later Cam with a drive through. Racky making a mistake, and bit fake Ishan has also made a mistake here. It's dropped down to 18th place, so it's been a nightmare of a first lap from him as well. But Tynus here is actually coming under pressure here from Shark Zulu a little bit, but he's also putting pressure on his old rival here, Jazzman, who leads coming through the final corner. It's been a solid first lap here from Jazzman. He needs to win here really tonight if he's to keep any chance of his championship alive. With Tynus in the house scoring so many points and not really dropping any at all. I think the only points that he dropped was in the first round of the season at Laguna Seca, where he came second in it was, I can't remember if it was the first or the second race of the night, but I know Jazzman won one of the races at Laguna Seca, but other than that I think Tynus has taken a clean sweep so far, so it's been an unbelievable season so far from Tynus, continuing to do what he did last season. But for the time being, Jazzman has got the lead. For how much longer though is he going to be able to keep onto this one? Sliding around a little bit there as he came out of the old hairpin. Up the hill we go towards the middle sector of this lap here on lap 2, but currently Jazzman doing what he needs to do at this point. You see them all filing through your shot there. There is the top 10 with Cheese Monkey closing on them. Cheese Monkey's had a very strong first lap to this race. He's gone from 18th to 11th, so he's gained 7 places. He's been quietly picking his way through the pack. I've seen this so many times with Cheese Monkey. He starts at the back and he will just quietly make his way through. Doesn't really draw any attention to himself. He just keeps his head down. Doesn't really, just keeps a low profile and. Ultimately does the business. But we've got Sharkazoo just ahead of Max Power as they're coming down towards the final corner. Max Power looking to the inside into the Melbourne, but he's too far back just at the moment. Then these guys still as they were, as there's a move being shaped up here. Fednat down the inside of Totally Zero into Melbourne, gets it done there up into 12th place. And Raki here making a move on Mario up into P15, but he goes a little bit deep there going through Melbourne, and Mario will get the cut back here and gets himself back up into 15th place here. Good battle from those guys. Mario staying ahead for the time being. As we've got Max Power looking up the inside of Sharkazoo, very late move up the inside. He makes it stick as well. Great move there from Max Power, really late on the brakes and timed it to perfection there. Sharkazoo had to give him the space because he saw him coming up the inside and knew that if he closed the door it would be an accident between them. But great racing there from Max Power, and up into the podium places he goes. As Mario, they're going to get a bit wide coming out of the turn 1. Raki there seizes on that, up into 15th place goes Raki Majay as well. So position changes going on left, right and centre at the moment. Cheese Monkey also attacking on the back of Day at this point. You can see there Totally Zero running ahead of Fednat. There's Tutti, who's a little way clear of Raki and Mario at this point. Plenty going on here. Tynus and Jazzman still 3/10 apart. There's Max Power, who's just ahead of Sharkazoo, Robe and Kevsim. They've got Carl Marley about a second behind them. There's Capriga ahead of all 3000, followed by Day with Cheese Monkey behind him at the moment. Tutti Frutti currently on the back of Fednat as well. Oh, Fednat there, sorry, Tutti Frutti even it was, who made a mistake. Oh, he's lost it there coming out of the foggy S's as well as in the foreground. Fednat also making a mistake coming out of that corner, but Cheese Monkey here has lost the place. Who's he lost out to? He's lost out to, no. He was ahead of Day. He's now let him back through again. So Day moving back through up into P10 here. Not sure what's going on there. A bit strange. In the meantime, Kessim on the back of Robe coming down to the end of the start finish straight. Too far back going into turn 1. Still as you were between these guys. Cheese Monkey all over the back of Fednat, so Cheese Monkey's actually lost a place here, so obviously he was up into 11th, did get up into P10 briefly, but throwing it all fade to the inside there into Melbourne, still too far back on Fednat at the moment though, unfortunately for him. Still no changes here. Jazzman starting lap 5, just under a second. Sorry, Tynus is ahead of Jazzman. So Tynus has made the move here on Jazzman. Where has he done that? I'm not quite sure, but Tynus in the house now has P1. So Jazzman once again losing out to his rival here. Tynus seems to have the edge over Jazzman so far this season. Everything that could go right for Tynus is going right, and seems to be that Jazzman is just not getting the rub of the green so far this season. The gap just under a second between those two. Max Power and Sharkazoo there in the background ahead of Kevsim Robe with Carl Marley a couple of seconds behind them. Caprigia a couple of seconds behind them. Has got Lol 3000 on the back of him as well. Cheese Monkey trying to reel in Fednat with Day, and there's Raki, who's just under 2 seconds behind them at the moment. But Tynus in the house once again with the ascendancy, and Jazzman just does not seem to be on form at the moment for whatever reason. Can't really put my finger on what it is at the moment that's not going right for him, but everything just seems to be falling against him at the moment. Caprigia still just ahead of Lol 3000 as they're going through the foggy S's. As Cheese Monkey has now got ahead of Fednad, so Cheese Monkey up into 11th place. Based on the back of Fednad here as well. Raki trying to close in on these guys. He's getting closer to the back of Fednad and Day as we speak. Day still all over the back of Fednad here as they go through the old hairpin, but still can't really pile the pressure on him enough here to move ahead and force him into a mistake. Sharkazulu's only got 8/10 at the moment to Kessu. Obviously Sharkazulu was P2 in the first race with Jazzman making his mistakes, and obviously Max Power made his mistake on the first lap of the first race, so Sharkazulu was ahead of him, but so far in this one, Kessim's keeping up with him at this point. Robe there in the background just dropping off of these guys a little bit there in P6. Lol 3000 has got Totally Zero. In fact, no, Totally Zero's got ahead of Lol 3000 now, so Totally Zero's up into 9th place as they're going through Melbourne. Cheese Monkey 5 seconds behind these. Can he now start to reel them in? Now he's in clean air. He's gapped Fednad by a couple of seconds. Day still in a sandwich here between Fednad and Raki. As Fednad there, a little bit of a slide there going out of Melbourne. Is that going to give Day a chance here coming into the final corner? No, he's not, 'cause he's too far back just at the moment. As he were between these guys as they come on the exit of the final corner here. See, that Mercedes, it really stands out in the dark with that aerial on the top that keeps glowing in the dark. Fednad here around the outside of Day, can't get it done. Day holds the inside line, goes a little bit wide though on the exit of turn 1. Can Fednad maybe try and seize on that? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to here. As Day a little bit wide there on the exit of the old hairpin, but keeping it together for the time being. Raki getting closer to the back of Fednad here. But still nothing doing here. Always Fednad there, a little bit wide, a little bit deep. But still keeping that position ahead of Raki for now. As Kev Sim's got ahead of no, he's already ahead of Robo, sorry. Do apologise. Sharkazulu has pulled out the gap to Kev Sim, so he's now 1.3 ahead. Obviously, Kev Sim was well within a second of him a couple of laps ago, but looks like Sharkazulu's now got the hammer down there a bit. Robo and what would appear to be a lapped car here, which is. Surely it can't be Raki. No, it's number 48, Sharkazulu. What's happened to Sharkazulu? Wow, Sharkazulu's made a mistake. Sorry, Sharkazulu, I apologise. So Sharkazulu there making a mistake. He dropped a couple of places there. I was thinking it was a lap car. It wasn't. It's Sharkazulu who's made a mistake here. It's dropped from what was 4th place in this race, and he's now running in P6. So he's not having the race here that he did in the first race. Obviously P2 in the first race. Kevin now into 4th place, and Robe now trying to hassle the back of him here. But these guys are well behind Max Power, who's running in the final podium place. He's not a million miles off of the top 2, Tynus and Jazzman. Tynus seems to have the pace over Jazzman at the moment though, keeping the gap just over a second at the moment between those two. Jazzman really needs to be getting some points over Tynus, needs to be getting some wins on the board. It's been, I think it's been 14 days at least since Jazzman last took a win here at Motive. During a season, that's almost unheard of, but Robe here defending the inside from Sharkazulu into Melbourne. Sharks who can't get it around the outside for the time being. Roby keeping it there. Doing a good job at the moment. Tynus and Jazzman coming over the line here to complete lap 8 of the race. 1.3 the gap between those two. There's Max Power in the background, 4 seconds off for the lead. Kessin, Roby and Shark Zulu coming over the line here in 4th, 5th and 6th places at the moment. There's Carl Marley, 3 seconds clear of Capriglia with Totally Zero on the back of him at the moment. Raki and Fednad still battling out over P12 and 13 here in this race. Kessin, Roby and Shark Zulu still battling over 4th place. This three-way battle still rages on. Capriglia still close on the back of Cheese Monkey here as these guys go into Melbourne. You can see there 7/10 of a second. Look, Cheese Monkey's actually got ahead of Capriglia. Raki's made a mistake here. What's happened to Raki? Raki's just out to Fednad and Day. And Raki there making a huge error going through the foggy S's. That's going to drop him down to P13, I believe. So yeah, Raki there taking a bit too much on the entry to the foggy S's. Cost him there. Got onto the grass and I think might have tagged the wall potentially. It looks like he hasn't got too much damage. So he might be alright here. Cheese Monkey a bit wide onto the curb there, but he's pulling away from Capriglia at this point. See that gap's now just over a second between those two, so Cheese Monkey gapping him. Can he now try and chase after Totally Zero, who's running in 8th place here? Tynus still leading the race by just under 2 seconds, but he is consistently extending his gap over Jazzman at this point, so Tynus does seem to be up the pace. He is the man here tonight around Donington in the races. Jazzman had the pace in quali, but race pace, Tynus definitely seems to have the edge over Jazzman. Gap's still just under a second between Kessim and Roby. Shark Zulu sticking to the back of these guys like glue here. This trio still battling over 4th place at this point as they're coming down towards Melbourne. Carl Marley's got Totally Zero all over him as they go for the foggy S's, but Totally Zero's gone straight on and Carl Marley's made a mistake there. And did Totally Zero tag him in the back, or did Carl Marley make that mistake by himself? If Totally Zero tagged him in the back, then I think Carl Marley's going to be fuming with that one. It didn't look like they made contact. To me, it looked like maybe Carl Marley went straight on. Surely Totally Zero would be waiting for him if he did tag him in the back. I would have thought he would be. So maybe Carl Marley made that mistake by himself, or there could be Totally Zero going a bit deep that caused Carl Marley to make the mistake, but obviously there was no contact, so you know, by the letter of the law, Totally Zero did nothing wrong, but potentially it could have been Totally Zero going deep into the chicane that forced Carl Marley into that distraction, which caused him to make that huge error going into the wall there, going to the foggy S's. So maybe it could be a factor there from Totally Zero's going deep, but obviously by the letter of the law, the rules as they stand, black and white, technically that's no fault of his own. He hasn't actually done anything against the rules. He hasn't broken any laws in regards to the rules of racing there. But Jazzman still just ahead of Tynus here as they come into the foggy S's. Oh, and Jazzman goes deep there through the foggy S's. Sorry, Tynus goes deep through the foggy S's, and Jazzman now leads the race. So finally Jazzman has managed to get something go right for him here tonight. He has P1, so Tynus obviously must have made a mistake before that because the gap was well over a second. Jazzman was all over the back of him, and Tynus there making a small mistake going through the foggy S's, and Jazzman now finally has a lead of a race once again. No, hold on, sorry, Tynus leads the race, so it was Jazzman. Oh my god, sorry guys, I'm messing this up. The timing board on ACC's and basically it's just confusing the hell out of me. So yeah, Jazzman had retaken the lead briefly. Tynus now has the lead back off of him again. Oh, he couldn't make this up, and unfortunately the timing board confusing the hell out of me as well. Not going to come out with the age-old classic of I'm exhausted, because it's just no point. Anyway, you all know the score by now. I mean, if I pulled up my sleep app on my phone, it tells me that over the last few months I've averaged 5 hours of sleep a night. You know, I happen to know that's not very healthy, but oh well. Basically, that's my life now. That's how it is. Chronic stress, anxiety, and not being able to relax at any point. Just, I don't know. Just, yeah. And obviously with the heat now as well, makes it 10 times worse. It was bad enough when it was fucking cold, but now it's fucking hot as well. But Cheese Monkey looking to the outside of Totally Zero, going to make the move surely. Can he keep himself there? Can he keep the momentum? He gets it done round the outside there. Cheese Monkey up into P7. Beautifully done there from him. Tynus in the house still got the lead over Jazzman as they're coming into the Melbourne hairpin at the moment. Shark Zulu still all over the back of Robe as they're coming down towards Melbourne as well, so they're not too far behind the two leaders, but they're well off for the podium places. Max Power, who's running in third place, but Robe here trying to hold on here. Shark Zulu putting him under tremendous pressure. These guys 5 seconds clear of Kevsim, so Kevsim must have made a mistake there, which has dropped him out of that battle for 4th place. Cheese Monkey though now in P7, he's got ahead of Totally Zero. Now can he try and chase down Kevsim in P6? He's got some pace here as Cheese Monkey, we've seen that, it's clear as day. But can he execute and make the most of that pace and use it to his advantage here in the closing stages of this final race of the night? Here we go then, battle for P4. Robe and Shark Zulu still tied at the hip here, coming into the foggy S's. Shark Zulu actually throwing little feints there, just trying to put him off a little bit there, but Robe's not taking the bait. Oh, Robe there, massive, as I say that, gets a horrible slide there, going through the foggy S's, and that can give Shark Zulu P4. Down the inside he goes, side by side here into Melbourne. Is Robe going to be able to keep it around the outside here? He's going to try it, but Shark Zulu gets it completed there up into 4th place. Excellent job there from him. Job done there for Shark Zulu. Tynus and Jazzman still out in front, still showing the way, but Max Power's only 3 seconds behind. To be fair, he's stuck to the task here as Max Power. To his credit, he's done a really good job there to keep him on the same page. It's not easy with Tynus and Jazzman, probably the 2 best drivers on the PlayStation 5 platform here on ACC, and Max Power's keeping him honest here. And we're well into the final part of the race, well into the second half of this final race of the night. We've got darkness here at Donington now, well and truly set in stone here. The lights were coming on at the start of the race, but now it's going to be about who's eating their carrots, because it's definitely going to be paying dividends. Those who were bred on a strict diet of carrots as children will now be reaping the benefits here tonight. But Shark Zulu still just ahead of Robe as they're coming up towards Coppice, but at the moment Shark Zulu is just managing to keep that one under control. In fact, what's going on here? No, Robe, sorry, that's Robe. That is Kessim. So Robe's made a mistake, because it says there the gap to between Robe and Kessim's 4.8. It's not, it now says 2/10. The time board's caught up with us there. Kessim goes a little bit deep there, going through the foggy S's, and Robe managing to pull it away there on the exit of the corner. Sorry. Obviously it's quite dark and it's hard to see the cars, but Robe there putting a lap on what would appear to be somebody there. So Kevsim there making his way through. It's the lazy camel there moving well aside for those guys, doing a good job there, being conscientious of the leaders coming through. But Robbie there making a mistake. He's now 6 seconds behind Shark Zulu, and that's going to give Shark Zulu, I think, P4 in the bag here. That should be guaranteeing that position there for him. Tynus has got just over a second here to Jazzman at this point. Max Power there still not keeping, or sorry, not letting these guys off the hook. I mean, if Tynus and Jazzman were to engage and take each other out or have a bit of a scuffle, then, you know, if they were to spin off or something happened to these guys, then Max Power is going to be there to capitalise. That's a given. So it's not over yet, that's for sure. Oh, it's Roby there wide, and that's going to get Kevsim in a position. Kevsim moves himself through up to P5. What's happened? Roby's in the pits. Why is he retired? Why is he retired? He was running in a good position. Some good points there for Roby. Why is he retired the car? That's going to give Cheese Monkey P6. Caprigi will move through into 7th. Everyone will move up a place here. Fedner in the meantime is on the back of Raki. As Raki just made the move, and I think he has. So Raki's moved himself up into the top 10 here. A bit of a comeback drive for him after a difficult start to this second race. But he's now got absolutely miles up the road to Totally Zero, who's running 11 seconds ahead of him in 8th place. And Jazzman has made another mistake, and this is a bit of a theme right now. What has this man got to do to get himself out of this rut that he's in? He's down to 3rd place. He is now 7.5 seconds off of the lead. Similar story to what we saw in the first race, a capitulation towards the end of the race. Max Power into P2, and Jazzman is struggling again here. What is going on? What is going on? Very hard to put my finger on really what's happening here. But Titus has now got a comfortable lead out the front. There's Max Power 6 seconds behind. There's Jazzman running in the final podium place. Sharka Zulu in 4th is 7 seconds clear of Kevsim. But this is unprecedented. I mean, the last 2 weeks now, Jazzman out of sorts. Just not really the driver that we've all become accustomed to over the seasons here at Motive. Very strange. Jazzman had dropped to third place behind Max Power. He's now on the back of him here. 0.2 of a second between these two as they start what's I think going to be the third to last lap of the race. But Jazzman getting a bit of a second win, trying to come back at Max Power here. He obviously made a mistake a few laps ago which dropped him well off the tyres. He had been trailing tyres for most of this race and maybe he was just trying to up the pace a bit to put him under pressure. Didn't work, ended up losing the place to Max Power, but he's all over the back of him here as they're coming through the old hairpin here. As Max Power forced into a bit of a mistake there, wide onto the grass. Is that going to give Jazzman an opportunity up the hill? I think it is. Yep, Jazzman's made the move and Max Power's spun out. Max Power's had a big off there. He's had a huge moment and he's going to lose a place here, I think, to Shaka Zulu. Is he? No, he's actually come out ahead of Shaka Zulu. So Max Power there nonetheless, though, losing a lot of time there to Jazzman. Jazzman now into second place and obviously recovering a place after his what looked to be potentially the start of another capitulation here in his second race of the night, but he seems to have got himself back together and is going to bring it home for a second place, at least for now, barring any major catastrophes in the final couple of laps of this race. But Tynus is coming through into the final corner. He's about to start lap 20, so it'll be a 21 lap race all told. It's going to be 2 laps to the flag from here as he comes over the line. So he puts a lap there on, I don't actually know, to be fair. No. No idea. But Tynus in the house here coming through the middle sector of the lap and obviously a lap and a half left to go. In a superb night from him, it's going to be another double win, and it's taking another step towards a championship here in the GT3 Sprint League. Obviously, he's the reigning champion from last season, and he's been really almost unstoppable over the course of this one. Jazzman's main hope this season's got to be the GT3 Championship on a Sunday night, where we've only had one round of the season. Tynus obviously taking the first one of that one, but we had to postpone the second round on which was supposed to be last Sunday, so only one round into that one. That's got to be occupying Jazzman's focus here. That's got to be his one chance of redemption here in season 5. But Tynus dominating proceedings here as he's coming into the final corner, about to start the final lap of the race. Cheese Monkey in the meantime he's well within 2 seconds of Kevsim, so potentially Cheese Monkey could have a chance of getting himself into the top 5 here if he continues this sort of momentum that he's on. There's Kevsim, there's Cheese Monkey just going on the exit of Melbourne as they come down towards the final corner. Tynus is on the final lap as he's coming through Hollywoods and in towards the Craners. He's 8 seconds clear of Jazzman in second place. He's a further 4 seconds ahead of Max Power, who's got a further 4 seconds back to Shaka Zulu. Then you've got Kevsim and Cheese Monkey, who are 1.2 apart as they start the final lap. Cheese Monkey's been gaining hand over fist over the last few laps, but can he force the issue here on this final lap of the race? We'll stick with these guys for the next sort of half a lap or so before the race here. The Tynus comes up on the flag. Let's see how much can Cheese Monkey gain in the first sector. He's only gained a 10th through the first sector. The gap down to 1.1. The middle part, that's going to be the big one. Oh, is Cheese Monkey there massively wide out of the old hairpin? That's surely going to put pay to his chances here. Although saying that, he's still gained time actually on Kevsim through that part of the track. Tynus here is coming down towards Melbourne at the moment. Cheese Monkey a bit wide onto the grass, but still closing actually on Kevsim. Through Coppice we go for the final time. I think that Cheese Monkey's just going to fall short here. I think that Kevsim will be able to park his car and should be able to defend this one. Tynus though coming into the final corner here for the second race, the final race of the night here for round 3 of the season here at Donington Park for the GT3 Sprint League here for season 5 on the PlayStation platform here at Motive. It's going to be a victory for Tynus in the house. A flash of the lights from him. It's the double tonight at Donington, and he's been unstoppable here. Jazzman's going to stop the rot here in this second race. He's going to finish in P2. And finally his terrible run of form comes to an end, but nonetheless it will not be what he wanted. Second place for Jazzman, third for Max Power, with Shaka Zulu to take 4th place here in the end. Kevsim out of the final corner, and Cheese Monkey's made a big mistake here because he's now well behind Kevsim, so Kevsim over to take a comfortable P5. Cheese Monkey through the final corner is going to take 6th. Tutti Frutti's come over to finish the race a lap down in 12th. Cheese Monkey over in 6th. Lowell 3000 is going to come out of the final corner to take 12th place here, a lap down ahead of Capriga, who finishes in P6. Totally Zero couldn't quite get there on Capriga, so a P7 there for Totally Zero. Lazy Camel coming into the final sector. Fednad has just got the final corner to go here. There's Raki and there's Day. Lazy Camel will come over the line before Day does, but Fednad up towards the line of P8 here. Some good points here for Fednad. Raki, not the race that he had in the first race. He was superb in the first race, but nonetheless, P9, not bad points there for him. Day, the last driver over the line to finish on the lead lap in P10. Lazy Camel finishes the race a lap down in 14th place, and he's the last driver to finish actually, because Robe retired a few laps from the end. Carl Marley as well. Mario did actually stay in the session till the end, but didn't complete a lot of the race. So 11 laps down, only completed half the race. Bitfate Ishan retired a few laps from the end as well, or retired actually quite early on, to be fair. But that is that, guys, for tonight's action here in the Sprint League here at Motive for round 3 of an 8-round season here for season 5 here on the PlayStation 5 on Assetto Corsa Competizione. If you did enjoy, please do smash a like on both streams for both the first race and the second race. If you want to get involved in the action here at Motive, if you did enjoy and you're tempted to challenge these guys out on track, then go to www.motiveracing.com. You can join our Discord through our website quite easily. It's just literally you click the link to Assetto Corsa Competizione, it takes you straight to the Discord server, and boom, you are in. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us once again. To the drivers watching this back, if you did enjoy, please share it with your friends, family members and otherwise associates. And yeah, we'll catch you very soon, everybody. See you later, have a good evening, and yeah.